Good morning. My name is Dr. Mose. Today is another love talk. I'm going to discuss and talk about you love someone the way they need. A lot of people proclaim and declare that they love other people. But what kind of love it is? If you if you love somebody and said, "Oh, you don't understand. Let me tell you what love is." Really, really. So, as an adult, as a grown-up person with more than half a century experience, at least I know what love is. I don't need to go somewhere to some workshop, to some churches, and they tell me what love is. And I'm telling you today what love is. Sometimes we speak very different language, different culture, different language. No, I'm sure most of you heard that story about a group of people. They wanted the same things. They wanted grape, all of them. In one language, it said grape. In another language is angur. In another language is ozone or whatever. I don't know a lot of language, but in any language, there is a specific word for a same thing. That's object thing is the same, but there is a different word for that. When we are talking to each other, maybe we use different language. I'm not talking about different language in different country, but there is different language that we can use. And love language is can be very different from each person to another person. Yes, of course, there is love language. There is love language, of course. But when we are talking to each other and we said, I love you, then what does it mean? The word, there is three words. I love you. And it's a sentence with three words. What does it mean? I love you. What does it mean? Right? What does it mean? So let me give you an example. There is a story in the article that I wrote. There was a husband and wife. Husband threw a surprise party for the wife. And he thought, oh, she's gonna be surprised. He was excited to throw a surprise party for the wife. But actually, the wife didn't like surprise party at all. So if you want to surprise somebody, make sure she or he likes surprises. If not, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time to surprise somebody. May even you say, oh, you're gonna be surprised. But first, make sure that she loves surprises. I know some people doesn't like surprises. I know, just I know. Some people doesn't like surprises. So make sure she likes surprises. Then you can surprise her. Sometimes we speak very, very different languages. When we plan something for somebody, and then, oh, it's for your own benefit that I'm going to plan such a thing. No. If you, even as a parent, let's talk about parent and child. Every parent, they say, oh, I want the best for my child, isn't it? Every mother and father said, I want the best for my children. But sometimes the intention is not right. They don't have a right motive. Even if, even if they say, I want the best for my children, but their best is not best for children. I cannot be more clear than that. I'm talking about adulthood, how you can treat each other as an adult, and I'm telling you about parent and children. There's no more than this. There is no relationship more than this. Or we interact as an adult to each other, whatever age we have, or we treat each other as, oh, I am superior. I know what the best for you. You look at other person as a child. So you are my child and I'm your parent. I know your best. You have to obey me. There is no more than this, right? There is two different situations. And I'm talking about these two different situations. Even if you are, even you have authority over somebody and you look at other person and the children, maybe your best is not their best. You think you know the best, but you don't know the best for children. You don't know that. Sometimes you want give somebody something that he doesn't or she doesn't need. She doesn't want that. And you insist that, oh, you I want to give, or even if you want to be sound spiritual, oh, God has something for you, that you have to accept that. If I don't want what God wants for me, what if I don't want what God has for me? There is no way you can push me to the way of God. Imagine God has something for me. Right? I don't want what God has for me. Even if it's a perfect thing, I don't want what God has for me. Right? So why do you push me to something that I don't want? Even God has given me free will, right? God has everybody free will. So why? Why do you push me that something that God wants for me? I don't want. I don't want something that God has for me. I don't want it. So what? I don't want it. I don't want it. You guys, listen, you guys. I don't want it. Period. I cannot be more clear than this. Love is a big word. It is one that stirs up big feelings. I am a people have different meaning for love. Different people have different meaning for love. I mean, how do you describe a word that carries so many possible manifestations? Actually, love is a word that has two roles. Love is both a noun and a verb. Both noun and a verb, right? The relationship is complicated. Yes, I agree. A relationship is complicated. I agree with that. But we can say I love you and we can show I love you. There is a difference. That's why I don't want to be surrounded by people with hypocrisy problem. What I mean by hypocrisy, I mean that when you say something, but your action is different from what you say, right? Your action is different from what you say. That's something that we call hypocrisy. I don't care what title, what position, what spirituality level you have. I don't care about that. When what you say and what you do is different, I can call you hypocrite according to the any dictionary. You look meaning of hypocrisy. You don't need to answer it for me. Just look and search the dictionary, search Google, internet, or whatever you want. What is the definition of hypocrisy? When you say something and you do something different from what you say, that means hypocrisy. I understand. So if you say I love you and you don't show, or you say something different that contradicts the what you say, that means hypocrisy. So think about what you have done. Think about what you have done and what you have said. Are they matched together or not? If not, then you are one of them. You are one of the hypocrites. I'm not going to judge you, but think for yourself. Think for yourself that what you said and what you have done, they match together or not. If not, you are one of them. Love and its multiple meaning. Love has multiple meaning. Have you known that? Have you think about that? Love has multiple meaning. Love and its multiple meaning leave its expression ample room for creativity. Feel free to be creative because love has multiple meanings, so you can have whatever meaning you want. You can translate love in meaning you want. You can translate it in any language you want. Love has multiple meaning. There is a trans-cultural meaning for love. It can often leave lovers disappointed. Some couples are disappointed. Why couples are disappointed? And why there is so many mothers, single mothers? Why there is so many single mothers? Why there is so many single fathers? Why? Because the couples are disappointed. Then they get separation. Even if you grow up in the church, I know some people grow up in the church, you can be separated. Couple can be separated. When they get disappointed, they get separated. And what we see, single father, single mother, they are not couple anymore. Single mother and single father. We have so many of these in the church because they are disappointed. Just I'm talking about couples just in marriage. Then if you have boyfriend, girlfriend, it's easy to get separated. Just like that. You dump somebody and she or he become your ex. Just like that. But if you are in a marriage relationship, it's a little more difficult. You have to go through a process to get divorced. Based on disparate background, and worldviews. People feel love and show love in a myriad of contrasting ways. According to the bank, we see a couple get separated and we don't see the background. When you see the background, then you understand why this couple separated. Just because of the background. You guys can be separated just because of that background. Because love language is different. You get disappointed because what happened behind the scene, what happens background, you guys can throw in a lot of problems. Okay. If you and your partner speak love in the same manner, no problem. But if your love language is different, then we have so many problems. But if you don't speak in the same language and you want to be close to each other and somebody is silent and the other person is talkative, we have problem. You cannot expect somebody sit and doesn't say anything and you do all the talking. Even if you are pastors, even if you are pastors and you preach every Sunday. So you cannot expect all congregation just be silent. I'm not talking about in the time that you're preaching. Of course, anybody wants, if somebody is talking, the other person should respect that. But you cannot expect somebody don't say anything and you do all the talking. Because you have to listen to them. It's two-way, right? Every communication has two-way. You cannot tell somebody, oh, don't speak, silent, I talk. It doesn't work in any communication, period. That's all we have problems. When you don't know how to communicate, that's an important question to ask yourself. Ask yourself. You always have to ask yourself. Ask yourself an important question. That how do I feel most loved? How do I feel most loved? And there is a golden rule. I doesn't mean when there is something that you feel most love and you should do it to other person. No. Maybe the other person in different situation he feel most love. Right? Sometimes it happen like this. I feel most love when other person respect me, don't act like a jerk. If you act like a jerk, then I say, go out, bitch. Get out, bitch. If you act like a bitch, I have the right to say that. Get out, bitch. Get out of my sight, bitch. But if you respect me, then everything is going to be okay. That's why I want respect and I want to be surrounded by people who respect me. I'm not talking about obeying. Respect is different from obeying. I may respect somebody, but I don't need to obey that person. I have respect for person who are themselves. I have respect for person who action match their word. I have respect for, but I don't need to obey them essentially. So when I'm talking about respect, I'm not talking about obeying. So I want to be surrounded by people who respect me. Sometimes your partner needs word of affirmation. Sometimes your partner needs encouragement. Sometimes, so I love encouragement. Encourage me as much as possible. And then there is different kind of love language. We have to spend quality time. And this quality time doesn't need to be especially one-on-one. We can spend quality time as a group. I see a lot of people, I go to park every day normally. And I sometimes I see a group of people gather around and they have quality time, right? It doesn't need to be one-on-one quality time. It can be one-on-one, but quality time can be in a group. You can have quality time in a group. So don't waste your time by love, 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 love. It's not quality time. And sometimes physical touch is good as well. Let me add something here and then we continue and we close that. Let me add something here and that some people have different love language. For instance, it's important to know that what language you are speaking because it's wonderful. Then you understand each other love language. You have to be comfortable. That's why I always say I'm open. Tell us, talk to us, and I'm so comfortable with that. You can express whatever you feel. Talk to us, and you can say whatever you want to me. And there is a value on listening. That's why you have to listen. Don't always talk. Listen. All the love language are important. And there is a final thought. There is a final thought that I'm talking about. Understanding what your other person needs is essential. Because if you really, really care, you can say, I care for you. It's easy. Talk is cheap. Talk is cheap. But if you want to show somebody that you care, then you have to understand love language. How can you show somebody that you care? If you show somebody that something that he hates that, for example, I hate dogs. If you show me a dog, it means that you don't have any care for me. You don't care about me. So just I'm telling you, just I'm saying, if you show me a dog, then it means that you don't have any care for me. For example, love is a universal language. It can be spoken in many languages. Uh, After all, love is love. Don't allow your insecurity to manipulate you. If you catch yourself saying, if you catch you saying, what? I wonder if she loves me or not. If you catch yourself thinking about this, saying about this, think about what you have done and what she or he has done. Then you can say if he or she loves you or not. Peace of God be with you all. Finish. Good morning. My name is Dr. Mose. Don't know. Today is another law. And immediately. And immediately.